Good afternoon, one and all. We are now in the second session. We are starting the second session, Epics, Puranas and Historical Events, under Shri T.M. Krishnaswamy Iyer Endowment and Shri N.V. Raghavan Endowment, and the chairperson is our former director, Dr. V. Kameshwari Madam. I request Dr. P.C. Muralidharan Sir, Assistant Professor at the Kuppaswamy Shastri Research Institute, to introduce the endowments and the chairperson.
Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. I invite everybody for this session now. First of all, at this juncture, I request Dr. SSR Ma'am to honor V. Kameshwari Ma'am. On behalf of the Sanskrit Academy Madras, the Kuppaswamy Shastri Research Institute, I take immense pleasure in introducing our mentor, Kameshwari Ma'am, former director of the Kuppaswamy Shastri Research Institute, Chennai, with more than 35 years of teaching and research experience. Her main areas of specialization are Sahitya, language and literature and scientific literature. She guided 35 PhD MPhil research scholars to work on ancient sciences and varied fields of their interest, such as yoga, dharma shastra, lexicography, ganita, botany, taxonomy, war science, etc. She played a major role as the chief editor of the editorial board of the KSRI in bringing out numerous research publications of the institute, including the Journal of Oriental Research Madras. She had also been the chief editor of the souvenir of the All India Oriental Conference 40th session held in Chennai in May 2000, and joint editor in the Proceedings and Transactions of AIOC 40th session Chennai 2002. She participated and presented papers in various national and international seminars. She also has various articles published in reputed journals to her credit. In addition, she reviewed more than 50 books on archaeology, history, Vedas, Sanskrit literature, philosophy, religion, yoga, etc. in Indological journal magazines. She translated numerous Sanskrit and Tamil texts into English for the annual Dakshina published by the Sahitya Academy, 100 verses of the Gita Govindam for the dance drama program by Kalakshetra Foundation, College of Fine Arts, Shri Shiva Gita Mala with word for word meaning for Kalakshetra Foundation, to name a few. She organized various seminars and workshops at the KSRI, including the 70th anniversary of the institute. She played a significant role in various positions of seniority at institutions such as Samskrita Ranga, Samskrita Academy, Vishwa Samskrita Pratishthan, Dakshina Bharata Samskrita Pracharini Sabha, the Presidency College and Vivekananda College, Chennai, and Sahitya Academy, New Delhi. She is a member of the advisory board of Prachya, a peer-reviewed and referred annual journal on Sanskrit and related studies, published by the Department of Sanskrit, MDK Girls College, Dibrugarh, Assam, since 2017. The Chennai chapter of Indic Academy honored Dr. V. Kameshwari in the year 2019 as part of its annual program titled Grateful to Gurus towards promoting and preserving the Sanatana Dharma. She was honored by Honorable R.N. Ravi, Governor of Tamil Nadu, for her distinguished service to the field of Sanskrit and Indology on August 19, 2024. Her extensive teaching experience has inspired many students, researchers, and Sanskrit enthusiasts to undertake research and the study of ancient Sanskrit text and Indic knowledge systems. This session is conducted under two endowments, T.M. Krishnaswamy Iyer Endowment and Dr. N.V. Raghavan Endowment. T.M. Krishnaswamy Iyer combined a highly successful career in law with a passion, the propagation of the Tiruppugal. It is no wonder that the Mahapariva of Kanchi made a word play out of his initials and conferred on him the title Tiruppugal Mani. Having studied at the Pachepa School, Kanchipuram, Krishnaswamy Iyer joined the Pachepa's College, Madras, for his intermediate. He then graduated from the Madras Christian College with a BA degree before qualifying in law in 1905. Between 1943 and 1947, at the invitation of Sir C.P. Ramaswamy Iyer, he served as Chief Justice of Travancore State and after independence reverted to practice in Madras. He passed away in 1967. This endowment has been instituted by his family members in his memory. Tripugal lectures are held every year during the Kandasashti festival. As far as the Dr. N.V. Raghavan endowment has been instituted in memory of Dr. N.V. Raghavan by his family members. With these words, let me conclude. This session has 7 paper presenters, and I request Dr. V. Kameshwari ma'am to take over the proceedings of this session.
Good afternoon, everybody. After a heavy meal, we may go to sleep. Doesn't matter. We will sleep and we will also listen. They are all going to be epics. We know the stories. So people will not be talking about the stories. No? You are not able to hear. We all know the story about the epics and the Puranas mostly. Ramayana and Mahabharata is known to all. So people will not be talking to you about the story as such. They will be talking about the different dramas developed based on the story. In any one of the features of the story or something like that. So we will listen to all those papers first and then we will dissect them. We have got 7 papers today, of which 2 are not here. So I will first invite Dr. I have told Doctor, okay. Mrs. Gayatri, research scholar of the KSRI. She is going to give an overview of Ganashyama's Navagraha Charita. It's a very interesting play. Let us listen what she says.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. As we all know, drama literature comes under Drishya Kavya. The drama which has been taken up for discussion today is the Navagraha Charitam by Ganashyama, a poet who belongs to the 17th century CE. He was born in January 1706. He adorned the court of Tanjore during the reign of King Tukkoji or Tulaja I. As the poet himself describes his personal life, in most of his works, he was born to Mahadeva and Kashi. He was the grandson of Chandaji Balaji and had a sister by name Shakambari. He was also known as Sarvajna Kavi, Kavi Kantirava, Chondaji Kavi. He was also known as Vasyavachas and Saraswati. He seems to have written this play at the age of 22, which he himself has written in the prologue to this work. He was a tireless writer who was confident in his matchless workmanship. Nahi nahi tena kritam apitu ganashyamena prahasana damaruka nataka sattaka kavya dvi manjari bhanan devi tatanka lipim kritavan yaschan amisha satam champum. This sloka lists out the names of the works authored by Ganashyama. Damaruka Nataka, Prakrita Bhasha Manjari, Samskrita Bhasha Manjari, and the types of works including Prahasana, Sattaka, Kavya, Bhana, and numerous Champu Kavyas. Since there is no reference to Devi Tatanka Lipi in NCC, it might have been a reference to inscription of mystic syllables on copper plates or a text giving details of mystic syllables of goddesses. And he had 2 wives, Kamala and Sundari, who played a prominent part in his literary life. Sundari was his first wife, as her name only appears in some of the works, and before he married Kamala. Unusually, both of them had an amicable relationship with each other. Together they wrote the commentary Chamatkara Tarangini, also known as Sundari Kamaliyam, on Rajashekara's Vidya Salabanjika. In this commentary, after the usual prayer, they had given a list of Ganashyama's Sanskrit works, which are more than 64 in number. They both were proud of their husband's learning and achievements. They considered him as the incarnation of Goddess Saraswati. Their commentary also shows that they were proud of their scholarship in various branches of Sanskrit literature. Ganashyama also pays tribute to his learned wives in the introductory verses of Abhignana Shakuntala Sanjeevani. And Ganeshama had two sons, Chandrasekhara and Govardhana. The former is known by his work, which was a commentary on his father's work, Damaruka. The latter, Govardhana, a blind boy from his early days, has commented Gatakarpara Kavya of Gatakarpara. So, the Navagraha Charita is an interesting drama in 3 acts. The poet's great renown is shown completely in this drama. The main theme is the fight of Rahu and Ketu with the sun god Surya for getting Grahapatya and for 2 more days for the week, Rahu Vara and Ketu Vara, thus making a week consist of 9 days. But the problem was easily solved by the preceptor Brihaspati along with Shukra. This imaginary conflict by Rahu and Ketu, resulting in their obtaining the name of Swarbhanu, being eternal, is interestingly brought out by the playwright. The concept of Rahu Kala and Yamakanta is perhaps a contribution of Ganeshama through this work. As the name suggests, this play is based on astrology, and the different aspects and components of Jyotisha are personified as the various characters of the drama. I am not getting into the details of the characteristic features of the drama which this play is satisfying, but I am going to bring out the unique features of this drama as I found that more interesting. The primary aspect of Jyotisha is Panchanga, which comprises of Tithi, Vara, Nakshatra, Yoga and Karana. It is a mirror of the sky. There are 30 Tithis, 7 Varas, 27 Nakshatra, 27 Yogas and 11 Karanas. As we put it, Tithi, Vara, Nakshatra, Yoga, Karana, Panchanga Devata. So as the play deals with the Navagrahas, the planets, namely Rahu, Ketu, Brihaspati, Surya, Chandra, Buddha, Shukra, and moon spouse Rohini and Vayu appear as the characters. Some yogas, namely Vyatipata, Vyagata, Dhriti and Preeti have been personified. Some of the other characters in the play are Vishwavasu, Kalayukti, Siddharthaka, Krodha, Ananda, Saumya, Sadharana, Krodhana, the names of years of Hindu calendar or Jovian years. Since the plot primarily comprises of Rahu Ketu's demand for 2 additional days in a week, Ganeshama has included the names of the years or characters, as any change in the number of days of the week would affect the length of the years more than anything. And Ganeshama has aptly used this work to exhibit his profound knowledge in astrology, his use of satirical words coupled with subtle humor. The play begins with the following sloka, which shows the author's expertise in coining words. Nava nidayo, nava manayo, nava rasa kavita, navani dhanyani, labhyante yad adhinaihi, navagrahebhyo namastebhyaha. So, I salute the Navagrahas who bestow the 9 treasures, 9 gems, which shows the abundance in wealth, poems with 9 rasa, which implies knowledge, and 9 types of grains, which shows abundance in food grains, upon those who are dependent on Navagrahas or subservient or subordinate to them. And the drama starts with a Graha Preeti Shloka. Pashvadehe yat upekshanat na bhavati jnanam yat udvikshanat brahma iti achyuta iti umesha iti cha jnanam satam jayate te tattat krama ruda gochara dashabhukti ekapatrikata asesha sthavara jangama shubhakara nityam graha santu naha. So the author's sense of humor is well brought out by this verse at the opening of the drama. Keshanchit jayate saukyam dukhe daivagya nishchite anyesham jayate dukkam saukye daivagya nishchite. The astrologer decides as to who gets happiness and who gets sufferings. Others receive sufferings and the astrologer gets happiness. So this resembles Kali Vidambanam of Nilakanta Dikshita, in which he makes mockery of astrologers. Putra ityeva pitari, Kanyaka ityeva maturi, Garbha prashneshu katayan, Daivagyo vijayi bhavet. An astrologer will easily succeed in making a prediction if, when asked by a pregnant lady, by saying that she would get a female child, and if asked by her husband, that he will get a male one. Ayuhu prashne dirgham ayur vachyam. Vachyam. Mauhurtikair janehi. Jivanto bahumanyante mritaha prakshyanti kampunaha. An astrologer should promptly tell a person who asks him as to how long he would live, that he would live a very long life, as only persons who are alive will come back to him and give him the payment, and no dead person would come back to see him. And sarvam koti dvayopetam, sarvam kala dvayavadi, sarvam vyamishram cha vaktavyam daiva chintakaihi. An astrologer should give a prediction to the seeker of his advice. The intended action of the seeker may or may not work out. He should state that if the action does not fructify in present time, it will work out in future. This reminds of a verse in chapter 23 of Canto 11 of Srimad Bhagavatam, which satirically refers to planets. Graha nimittam sukhadukkhayoschet kimatmanas taddi jada jadatve dehastvachit purushoyam suparnaha krudyeta kasmaina parasya dvandvam. If the planets would be the cause of one's happiness and distress, how would that relate to the soul who is unborn? And the heavenly bodies relate to what is born. A planet is only troubled by the other planets, so the astrologers say. So with whom should the living being distinguished from the body and his planetary positions be angry then? The next sloka is a very unique sloka, in which the first letter of the words of the sloka forms the name of the work. Namami Varabhagyaya Grasta Dukkha Padam Haram Charanadvasta Daridryam Ripugnam Tandu Sevitam, which means I salute the feet of Lord Shiva, the bestower of boons, who is worshipped by Tandu, who is his doorkeeper, and who removes the sorrow and afflictions of people, destroys poverty and enemies. So in this drama, the two characters Vyagata and Vyatipata are discussing about Rahu's demand for Grahapatya. In that, Vyagata says, Gajanam cha yuddhe nashyanti panchashaha, Grahanam cha yuddhe trijagatam layaha. So when there is a fight between elephants, only a few would get destroyed. If there is a fight between the grahas, the orderliness of the three worlds will be lost. So the author calls the acts of the drama by the name Prapancha. It seems he has referred to the three worlds for the three acts. So the above sloka appears to be a proof for that. He has referred Tri Jagatam Layaha. So, in the first Prapancha, Rahu ridicules the sun as Pratimasa Bhinna Bhinna Surya, denoting his movement to each and every Rashi every month, and refers to sun's unfavorable comments on Rahu, which forms part of the second Prapancha. Aho Nichoyam Urago Graharajo Yada Bhavet Tada Manya Mahe Kacho Manishailo Bhavishyati. He says, when this downtrodden lowly snake can become a Graharaja, then even a piece of glass that can be regarded as a mountain made of precious stone. Then in Act 2, the evil powers of the Navagrahas are brought out by the following shloka. Putra bhavanti ripavo, daita jarevaha badate, sahaja bandhugana drishanti, kim bhuyasa vasanam apyahitam karoti, kim na bhavi kupiteshu navagraheshu. Sons become enemies, spouse hurts like a demon, one's relatives injure, residences become hostile, and what not happens when the Navagrahas get angry. In Act 2, when Dhriti and Ananda, the two characters of this play, are discussing about the demand made by Rahu, there is an announcement from behind the scenes. O Samvatsara and Yoga Varga, protect the eastern direction. Nakshatra and Karana Vargas, you maintain the southern direction. As Sthiti Varga is residing in the southeastern direction. The two Pakshas, Sukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha, are taking care of southwest. The two Ayanas, Uttarayana and Dakshinayana, are guarding the lofty western direction. O seasons, you along with Hora Varga stand in the northwest. O Gatika Varga, you along with Sapla and Sandhya Vargas co-rule north, which is Kubera's direction. O Muhurta Varga, you adorn the northeast Ishanya direction. Ratri Varga, you along with Prahara Varga enchants the Nadar direction. Alas Divasa Varga, be honored to reside with Masa Varga in the zenith direction. O Nimesha Varga, Kashta Varga, Kala Varga and Shana Vargas, you come separately in turns as the four means of defeating the enemies. So this paragraph justifies the title. And this sloka actually brings out the immense power of Rahu Graha. Ashir, Daivata, Mantra, Tantra, Shakuna, Swapna, Kriya, Mulika, Yatnakshudvani, Dorakashraya, Tapo Yantra, Anjana Upashrutihi, Jyotir Bhakti Abhimana Bibala Kala Parayana Archadikam, Tula Yapina Manyate, Shashimukhi Graho Mahana Grahaha. Divine blessings, Vedic prayers, Tantra, omens, hypnotism, medicinal herbs, sounds of horror, black magic, divine radiance, bhakti, wishes, wisdom, penance, chanting and worship. All these will be regarded worthless in front of Rahu, who grasps the moon. And Ganeshama also scores in description of nature beautifully, which can be seen from the following shloka, which aesthetically describes the rising of sun in the east. Videha mandehaha sarasijavani pullati dishaha prakashante kokaha sarasi sarasam narma dadati tamaha kinchil leelam dadadapi parabhuti mayate mahan deepaha ko ayam sakala bhuvananam udayate. The ponds filled with lotuses, which seemed to be lifeless and lacking interest, started blooming. All quarters started brightening. The frogs and kraits started playing. The darkness, which was sporting, getting defeated by the huge lamp, that is the sun, which arose to brighten all the worlds. And in Act 2, when there is an unauspicious utterance from behind the scenes, the Grahas, Buddha, Brahaspati, Chandra and Rohini express their worries about what would happen. Then Surya says with self-confidence to pay attention to him. Niryatu upari bhumiretu gaganam bhumo sa tarambudam garjantu ujjita velam ambu nidayaha kallola kolahalehi brahmandena samam dhruvaha sputatu va ha tavatu arundati pativratyam ivachalam nanuchalet kim jatu dairyam mama. Even if the earth moves upwards and the sky with all its stars descend, the waves cross the shoreline, roaring with excitement and happiness. Dhruva star expands equal to the size of the cosmos. My courage, which is equal to the devotion of Arundhati to her husband, would never fail. And Ganeshama uses this Subhashitam to emphasize the value of good company. Dhyutakridashu yuddeshu Murkarajasya samsadi Dhanonmatta samipecha yatra naivo chitasatam. It is always not advisable to be in the company of a foolish king in gambling and war, and to travel with a person too much concerned with money or a miser. The next slide shows the Nitya Yogas which have been portrayed as characters by the playwright. The Dhriti Yoga is the 8th Nitya Yoga, and the meaning is steady or constant. And the nature of the yoga is less favorable, and the ruling deity is Jala or Apas, and the ruling planet is Rahu. The next one is Preeti Yoga, which is the second yoga. The meaning is loved one. Nature is less auspicious, and the ruling deity is Vishnu, and the ruling planet is Mercury or Buddha. And Vyatipata is the 17th Nitya Yoga, which means calamity or disrespect. And nature is extremely inauspicious. The ruling deity is Rudra, and ruling planet is Rahu. Vyagata is the 13th Nitya Yoga, which means defeat or blow. And the nature is extremely inauspicious, the ruling deity being Vayu and the ruling planet being Venus or Shukra. The author has used the above Nitya Yogas in the play maybe due to the reason that these planets play a key role in the plot. And the samvatsaras which are playing characters in the play are listed on the left side. And a number of names of samvatsaras have been used during the conversation in the play. Those are given in this right side. And the qualities of the Navagrahas have been described in a simpler manner like this. Shana Chinna Vapu Ravihi, Shashadaraha Kshinaha, Trikonalayo Baumaha, Shandavaro Buddhaha, Ashuchi Vadur Jivo, Vidrig Bhargavaha, Panguhu Bhaskara Sunuhu, Anga Vikalo Yad Rahu Ketu, Tato Yad Satyam Sarasiru Hakshi, Bhuvane Santi Grahanam Grahaha. Surya is in a reduced form, Moon is subject to waning, Angaraka is triangular in shape, Buddha is eunuch, Brihaspati has an unchaste wife, Shukra is not righteous, Sanishwara is lame, Rahu and Ketu are crippled. It is indeed the truth that these planets are ruling the world. Brihaspati has been praised by Ananda, which is a character of the play, thus. Kalaha snehayo rajya kashta rajyaika saukyayoho kavina saha dhirena karanam bhagavan guruhu. The blessings of Bhagavan Guru converts quarrel into friendship, troubles which may be related to government or something converts into comforts. When coupled with Shukra, this imbibes more intelligence and bravery. So maybe he is using this as Brihaspati and Shukra together are trying to resolve the problem of Rahu's demand. Guru Parka Kodi Nanme, that is a famous astrological phrase. So when he gets into it, it will be solved. So, in the third Prapancha, Brihaspati and Shukra have a lengthy conversation as to how to deal with Rahu and Ketu in convincing them. Brihaspati says that somehow an amicable friendship has to be brought between Sun and Rahu. Shukra says that Sama, Dana, Doda, Danda are instrumental in achieving things in politics and sports. He adds that Sama and Dana cannot be used in hostility towards cow and Brahmins. Shukra says that Rahu has told Angaraka earlier, Nanu bhavata pradeepa gamane visrishte rasheha swatantrena diyante iti. For which Shukra says, Deva, Rahu Sarvabhauma, Paradeshinam Dinajananam Iva Uchitam Varayachanam Na Kalu Yuktamidam Atisahasa Karma Asahaya Shuranam Bhavadrishanan iti. Begging for a day may be ideal for nomadic or poor people and not a solitary, bold, daring hero like you. So he also says that he shall induce Vasuki to tell Rahu to give up his hope for Grahapatya. And Shukra asked Brihaspati to tell Rahu the following verse which would prepare him to give up his demand. Raho sadastam bhajato ravindu bhaumagnya kalaha kujashanda mandaha Mudo marudaitya guru patitvam tesham grahanam katamarhasiti. Rahu, the sun and moon undergo setting. Mars, Mercury and Saturn are crooked, eunuch and dull and slow. Jupiter, which is the guru of Marud Devas, and Venus, the guru of Asuras, are fools. How can you inspire to be their leader? Shukra says that too. That Rahu be told, Yatha Bhagavantam Adityam Banam Vyavaharanti, Tata Rahum api Swarbanam Vyavaharantu Janaha. So long as the sun is regarded by the people as Banu, Rahu will also be praised as Swarbanu. Brihaspati says that Chitrabanu, Banu, Banumat are the same as Tragitanu, which is also a synonym of sun. Shukra also asserts that Rahu has 10 names like Swarbanu, Avyayabanu, Swargabanu, etc. So once this conversation is over, the Navagrahas are satisfied that Rahu has convinced himself and he has withdrawn the demand for the Grahapatya. Chitrastaihi Karyamaha Ranam Akila Balaistani Jivanti Sakshat Akalpam Chitrayamaha Trina Kanakagiri Meru Siddharthayamaha Kaupinam Grahayamaha Pashupati Suhruda Bhikshukan Indrayamaha Sarve Kruddaha Prasanna Api Manasi Vayam Hanta Kim Kimna Kurmaha. So they themselves, they are very happy about their capabilities, and this sloka by the author shows his expertise on Jyotisha. We can bring the dead alive. In the battlefield of the world, we can make the strongest survive through the ages. We can make a small piece of straw a huge mountain of gold. We can make people loose up to their loincloth. With the aid of Lord Pashupati, we can make beggars into Indra, god of eastern quarter, that is, we can make them wealthy. Whether they can make us angry or happy, and what else we can do. We can do what not we can do. What not we cannot do, sorry. And Sukra is pleased that his mission has been sprouting, blooming and fruiting within moments of being sown. So Rahu is also rejoiced. Swadina Sakaleshu Rajishu Gatir Dhuri Krita Varayoho Vrittir Veera Vigarhita Iti Patita Buddhir Grahanam Gata Sangramo Vinibarito Bhagavata Mitratvam Aptam Punaha Swarbanutvam Avaptam Anyaduchitam Kimva Yadiha Mahe. That we can move to all Rashis at our will. The blame on us because of our demand for an additional day in a week being removed, or battle with other grahas concluded, and friendship with them being acquired again, being empowered with the title Swarbanu. What more Bharti could have been aspired for in this world? Saying this, Rahu gets over enthusiastic and bursts out with laughter and rejoices. Brihaspati is also happy that his desire has been fulfilled. Sun is also extremely happy that his wish has been accomplished. Author completes the drama with the Palashruti. Yaf padati shrunoti navagraha charitamidam navagrahaha tasmai kritavata iva vitarata jayasutam atishaya ati yasho rama ayuhu amrutani. Whoever reads or hears this Navagraha Charita will be bestowed with success, progeny, eminence, wealth and long life. Dhanyavad. நவத்துல வருதே சார்.
அவன் என்ன கேள்வி வைக்கிறார் பாப்போம்.
அதுதானே சார் இந்த கதையே. கிரகமா இல்லையான்றது தான் கதையே.
அதனால தான் ஸ்வர்பானுன்னு பேரை கொடுத்துட்டார். நோடு. Rahu and Ketu are only nodes.
Navagraha Charitam by Ganashyama. Charitam. No, it is not an allegorical play.
It is an ordinary play.
It is not an. It is an ordinary
play.
Though
it is given in the Tanjore edition that it is an allegorical play.
It is not an allegorical play.
It's purely astrology based. Yes, you can get the book.
Saraswati Mal, yeah. Yeah, here it's available, and in some abroad only, I saw only 2 copies are available. One is in KSRA, the other one is somewhere abroad, I think.
You will find it in Tanjore. Saraswati Mahal Library, they will sell it. It's available for sale.
Oh, that I didn't know.
His other play, Damarukam. Very nicely presented. Though I do not know how many of you would have understood the astrology behind it. But very beautifully, ரொம்ப எடக்கோட பண்ணியிருக்கார். தமிழில் சொல்கிறது வந்து எடக்க மடக்கா பண்ணியிருக்கார். அது ரொம்ப அழகாக பண்ணியிருக்கார். And whatever word he uses for as an அடைமொழி, அவருக்கு எப்படி அந்த கிரகத்துக்கு ஒரு அடைமொழி கொடுக்கறதே இதோட குவாலிட்டியை சொல்லிடும். ஸோ பங்குன்னு சொன்னால் இட் இஸ் அ வெரி ஸ்லோ மூவிங் கிரக, தட் இஸ் சனி. லைக் தட் ஃபார் எவ்ரிபடி தெர் இஸ் அ ஸ்டோரி ஆல்சோ தட் ஹி இஸ் லேம், பட் இட் இஸ் ஸ்லோ மூவிங். ஸோ ஃபார் எவ்ரி கிரக ஹி இஸ் கிவிங் தட் Adaimozhi, and then by their conversation, through their conversation, their expectations and their antipathy towards others and their friendship to our other grahas are also brought out. We will have to study it very thoroughly to understand. We should have basic knowledge of astrology.
This was my maiden attempt, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
I don't know astrology.
You have done very well for that, but from you we can understand. From whatever you say, we can understand. Nikshatra
Kalividambana.
Kalividambana.
Okay.
You can take it as your next paper.
Okay.
So well done.
Huh?
It is almost like Kalividambanam. Very well, thank you very much. You have done well. Next in line is Mrs. Lavanya Ishwar, Assistant Professor of KSRA. She will be talking about Unmatta Raghava of Virupaksha.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namasabhaye. Yeah, my topic is Unmatta Raghava of Virupaksha, an uprising. The Unmatta Raghava of King Virupaksha deals with the famous story of Sita's abduction by Ravana, and it is styled as a Prekshanaka. Apart from the major varieties of drama, there are other varieties that had come to be known as Uparupakas. These are lesser varieties of drama mentioned here and there in the earlier texts and later developed by Alankarikas. Bhoja in his Sringara Prakasha defines 12 types of such lesser varieties, of which Prekshanaka is one. He gives the definition as Rathya Samaja Chatvara Suralayadau Pravartyate Bahubihi Patra Visheshair Yattat Prekshanakam Kamadahanadi. Prekshanaka is a show which takes place in the open space on streets amidst a gathering of people in quadrangles and temple courtyards. It is performed by a number of persons. Bhoja also gives the performance of burning of the Cupid as an example. A short introduction about the author. The author Virupaksha has been identified as the grandson of Bukka Narendra and son of Harihara II of the Sangama dynasty of Vidyanagar, Vijayanagara. He was in charge of Karnataka, Tundira, Chola, Pandya and conquered Ceylon. He belonged to the 15th century. The text itself provides the details of the author through the conversation between the Sutradhara and Nati before the play begins. Pautro Bukkannarendrasya Dauhitro Ramabhupatehe Vidyatehi Virupaksho Raja Hariharatmajaha. Virupaksha had written two works, namely Unmatta Raghava and Narayana Vilasa. Unmatta Raghava, the New Catalogus Catalogorum, Volume 2, furnishes the details of this work. In addition, it also records reference to drama of the same title by two other dramatists, Bhaskara Kavi and Mahadeva Shastrin. As with respect to Narayana Vilasa, Volume 10 of NCC mentions Narayana Vilasa as a Nataka in 5 acts by Virupaksha. A source of this play, the main source of the play is from Valmiki Ramayana. The Prastavana narrates the earlier part of the story of Ramayana till the destruction of Khara and Dushana and the entry of Maricha as the golden deer. The act proper starts with Rama and Sita sighting the golden deer. Rama getting into mental depression and inquiring all the sentient and insentient beings on the whereabouts of Sita forms the entire plot of the story. The remaining story of the Aranya Kanda, Kishkinda Kanda, Sundara Kanda and Yuddha Kanda are together given in 2 shlokas at the end of the play. This play of Virupaksha also seems to have taken source from the Jain Ramayanas and folklores available during his time in Karnataka. The deviations in these seem to have influenced him to fix the tale as he liked and highlight the Unmada Avastha of Rama. I am just giving a few variations that can be found in Valmiki Ramayana and Unmatta Raghava. Rama, as far as Valmiki Ramayana is concerned, he is the hero of heroes endowed with all 5 qualities of an ideal king. In Unmatta Raghava, he is portrayed not as a valorous hero, but as one deserving an empathetic appeal of the audience, being throughout in an Unmatta Avastha. In Valmiki Ramayana, after the loss of Sita, though inconsolable, Rama as a valiant Kshatriya goes in search of her, kills Ravana and returns back with Sita. But in Unmatta Raghava, it is Lakshmana, the devoted brother, who goes in search of Sita, fights with Ravana and brings her back. In Valmiki Ramayana, the character of Lakshmana as a younger brother who lives and works in the shadow of his elder brother, he executes the orders of his brother at every turn. While in Unmatta Raghava, Lakshmana assumes the mantle of the main character and so he is shouldered with the responsibilities of Rama. On seeing his grief-stricken brother, Lakshmana wants to return with Sita and goes in search of her. Adhuna esha vilanghya payodhinapi kritva samaram nishachareirva raghuvira padambuja prabhavat punaha ahartum alam bhaveyam aryam. Jatayuvada, Lakshmana's friendship with Sugriva and Vibhishana, construction of bridge to Lanka to reach the abode of Ravana, victory over Kumbhakarna and slaying of Ravana are reported behind the scenes merely through a couple of verses. Sitam hatat apahritam rundhan pati patito dashasyena avedayat jatayuhu shadrukna jayase divam yasyan valim nimmilite drak pramudita manasaha suryaputrasya sahyat Badde setau kapindraihi lavana jalanidhim lakshmano langhayitva hatva paulastyamajau saha raja nicharaihi sendrajit kumbhakarnam devim adaya bhuyastava savidam asau agataha pushpakena. Now we move on to see some influences of Valmiki Ramayana on Unmatta Raghava. Virupaksha has taken the main plot from the Valmiki Ramayana. In contents, he is greatly influenced by Adikavi Valmiki. Following are a few instances cited from both the texts. With respect to the description of the golden deer, in the Aranyakanda of Valmiki Ramayana, Saturupam Samasthaya Mahadadbhuta Darshanam Manipravara Shringagraha Sitasita Mukhakritihi Rakta Padmotpala Mukha Indranilotpala Shravaha Kinchit Abhyunnati Griva Indranila Daradharaha. When it comes to Unmatta Raghava, Shringena Manikyamayena Dantaihi Muktamayair Vajramayaihi Kurair Naha Valena Nilashmamayena Chasau Kautuhalam Hemamrigaha Karoti Marakatarucha Janga Kandena Shadvalayan Mahim Kuvalaya Mayir Ashaha Kurvan Apanga Vivartanaihi Gaganamakilam Gatrodhyotaihi Savidyu Divavahan Kanaka Harinaha Koyam Neroho Kishora Iva Agataha. Now Lakshmana's dilemma to leave Sita alone, in that instance, Valmiki Ramayana, the Aranyakanda says, Ramena Tvam Vararohe Natvam Tyaktumihotsahe Kritavairashcha Kalyani Vayamete Nishacharehi. While in Unmatta Raghava, Arya meka kinim tyaktva kantare gamyatam katham va giram etasya shrutvapi sthiyatam maya. And one more instance I have not mentioned with regard to Rama's lament in Aranyakanda. When he sees the Ashoka tree, Ashoka shokapanuda shokopahata chetasam tvannamanam kuru kshipram priya sandarshanena mam. But in Unmatta Raghava, raktashoka taruhu sa esha sadayam godavari varibihi yam putri kritam atra vardhitavati sita swahasta hritaihi sampratyevahi dikshitum mrigadrisho vaktrashriyam vanchata Yasyadaya maya navam kisalayam karnavatam sikritam. From the above, it can be seen that the Unmatta Raghava is a unique play by Virupaksha, whose effort to take up such an idea to change the Uttamottama Nayaka Rama to Unmatta Nayaka is laudable. Ramayana appeals to all poets and each one tries to see the story from different angles, adding their own views. Bhasa was the trendsetter in this line with his Pratima Nataka, Shakribhadra with his Ashcharya Chudamani, Ramabhadra Dikshita with his Janaki Parinaya, to name a few. Virupaksha also follows in line with this. He has taken Rama's lament as the main theme of the play. He resolves the remaining story of Ramayana thus. A single shloka in the Prastavana presents the earlier portion of the story of Ramayana up to the entry of the golden deer. In 5 verses at the end of the play, the latter portion of the story of Ramayana is presented up to the coronation of Vibhishana. Virupaksha, using his dramatic ability, has brought out the entire narration of Ramayana in this Prekshanaka, a small play in a single act. He has also enhanced the character of Rama, though presented in Unmatta Avastha, by drawing our attention to Rama's unmitigated valor. Thank you.
One of the very quaint plays in Sanskrit and Ramayana. You do not see Rama in action in this. He just sits somewhere and then is lamenting over the last wife, about the last wife. It's almost like Vikrama Urvasiya, where Pururavas is going in search of Urvasi, lamenting about her beauty and other things the same way. It almost resembles that, like Kalidasa's Vikrama Urvasiya. Otherwise, it is a new venture on the part of the playwright to do this sort of daring, actually, because everybody knows the Ramayana. How can you do that? Will you sit and listen to such a lamentation? We will not. But he has done it. He has done it in beautiful Sanskrit. The poetry is very beautiful, as she showed you some of them. It's beautifully done, so you are able to enjoy it. It is almost not a Drishya Kavya, but a Shravya Kavya. You can listen. You cannot see it. Maybe if there is an actor who can do it very well, like Hamlet's soliloquy or something like that, we can enjoy it. Even then, it is such a prolonged lamentation. But the poet's ability to condense the entire story in 5 slokas at the end and 1 sloka in the beginning tells you his capacity of being a very good writer. We enjoyed, actually, this was done as a MPhil thesis here by Dr. Archana, who is now in Palatur College as a professor. It was a very good play. We enjoyed it, actually, though irrespective of the fact that there is no role for Rama at all. Anyway, that is one way of doing it. We have another one, Prasanna Raghava. Tomorrow there will be a presentation on that. There also, the entire Ramayana is narrated through the mouths of the rivers that play a part in the Ramayana, starting from Ganga, Ganga, Sarayu, Godavari, Krishna, Tungabhadra. It doesn't come to Kaveri. No. All these rivers, they narrate the story as how first Rama, Sita and Lakshmana have crossed, and then Rama and Lakshmana in search of Sita, and then Sita being taken away seen by Godavari, and then they go and report everything to the Sagara, who is going to help later Rama in getting Sita back. So people have thought about it, people have differently viewed Ramayana in various ways in which they could present it to the audience so that something new will be appreciated. So in that way, this is a beautiful play, and she brought to you some beautiful pieces of poetry which could be enjoyed. Thank you, Dr. Lavanya, soon to become a doctor. The next will be Dr. Anusha, Assistant Professor, Department of Sanskrit, Ethiraj College for Women. Epic incidents in Duta Kavya is her Duta Vakya, is her paper, and she is also one of our research scholar. She had done on Purusha Pariksha, a unique prose text of 16th century.
PPT illa. Naanga pandradilla. Am I set? Everybody is able to hear me? Thank you so much. Okay. Salutations to the Almighty, obeisance to all elders present here, and best wishes to all friends and students. Okay, I'm here to present on the topic epic and Puranic incidents mentioned in Duta Vakyam. But one might wonder, as Duta Vakyam is but a one-act play from the epic, deriving its theme from the epic Mahabharata. So hence, what is there to talk about the epic elements in Duta Vakyam? But the entire drama, though it is from the epic, the mention of many incidents that occur in the course of the argument between Sri Krishna and Duryodhana, and even later on, covers the epic more fully than any other drama. Hence, a thorough study of Duta Vakyam requires a thorough understanding of the entire epic, and without the in-depth understanding of these episodes, it is but not possible to justify the reading of the drama. True to the spirit of Bhasa, who introduces new episodes differing from the original epic to heighten the rasa or taking his characterization to the higher level, the drama Dutavakyam also has episodes that are not present in the epic, but surely enhances the portrayal of divinity of Sri Krishna that runs as an undercurrent even from the beginning of the drama. The drama commences with the beautiful Nandi verse, Padapaya Dupendrasya Sarvalokotsavaha Savaha Vyavidha Namucharyena Tanutamra Nakhe. This refers to the Vedic episode where the demon Namuchi would not let Indra reign on earth. Therefore he was called Namuchi, who would not let rain. Vedas proclaim Namuchi was killed by Indra. Hence it is mentioned in the verse that the nail of Sri Vamana pierced through the demon, scaring him, but it did not kill him. All dramas of Bhasa starts by mentioning one or the other avatar of Vishnu, as all of us know, and Bhasa brings in a beautiful perspective of the deity which coincides well with the theme of the drama. In this drama too, the Trivikrama avatar spanning the three worlds is aptly propitiated at the beginning of the drama, because Krishna was to assume his Vishwarupa form at the cosmic form at the end of the climax of the drama. Also, herein, in the Nandi verse, the demon Namuchi is left scared but not killed, similar to Duryodhana, who is given a glimpse of the grandeur of the Lord but is left unscathed. Coming to the episode where Duryodhana asks all people to enter the council hall, Duryodhana offers suitable seats for each one, Kurmasanam for Dronacharya, that he is the one with self-restraint, Simhasanam for Bhishma, to say that he is the royal one, and Charmasana for Shakuni. So it is seen that in spite of Shakuni supporting him so much throughout, at least for him, he was not knowing the motive of Shakuni. He only gave him disrespect. He did not respect him as much as he respected the others. Later, Duryodhana's wicked intentions are revealed when he even started the dialogue between Sri Krishna and him. He asked Krishna first, and also the ill motive is revealed when he asked the vassal kings not to rise when Sri Krishna came in. But everyone stood on the arrival of Sri Krishna owing to the divinity that inspired them. Though Duryodhana wanted to act as if he did not take a look at Sri Krishna by only glancing on the Vastrapaharana of Draupadi, but when Krishna asked him, Duryodhana, kim asse? Then immediately he slips down from his seat, and in that instant he says, Suvyaktam prapta eva Keshavaha. Thus, Bhasa highlights the divinity of the hero of the drama, Sri Krishna. Then commences the heated argument between Sri Krishna and Duryodhana is the first one to start. The very words inquiring the well-being of Pandavas suggest that Duryodhana does not even consider Pandavas to be his blood relatives. For he asks, Dharmatmajaha, Vayasutascha Bhimaha, and Bhrata Arjuno me Tridashendra Sunuhu, Yamauchatau, Ashvisutau Vinito, Sarve Sabhratyaha Kushalopapannaha. So he doesn't even ask that they are his relatives or cousins or brothers. He does not mention any of them. Immediately Krishna also retorts by saying that Sadrisha Metad Gandhari Putrasya. So Gandhari is also blind and you are also blind to the truth. And therefore he says that, he says, Dayadyam Vibhajyatam. You will have to divide the ancestral property. Then immediately Duryodhana also fights back by telling that Katham Dayadyamiti. He is now telling that Vane Pitravyaha Mrigaya Prasangataha Kritaparadha Munishapamaptavan Tada Prabhratyeva Sadara Nispraha Paratvajanam Pitratam Katham Rajet. He is asking, how does he become the father of somebody else's children? That is not even justified. He says that. Immediately Krishna also says, Puravidam Bhavantam Prachami. Yes, you know the history very well, but why don't you go back one step behind and then find out. He says that Vichitra Viryaha Vishayat Vipattim Vyataha Purarambikayam Vyasena Jataha Dhritarashtreshah Labhet Rajyam Janaka Kathamte. How did he get the kingdom if they did not deserve the kingdom, even he did not deserve the kingdom. If he is the rightful heir of the kingdom, so automatically Pandavas are also the rightful heirs of the kingdom. For which immediately he says, no, this will not work out for, like we are going to go on like this, then there's no end to this argument. Therefore, Krishna is now telling that we don't have to go on discussing about this. This is not going to come to an end. Therefore, Punya Sanchay Sampraptam Nrupashriyam, if you are not going to give it back to your own cousins, you're not going to divide it properly, then that is not the right way to do it. Because the relatives should not be deceived. It is not good for a king, because the king is the one who takes everybody into his stride by one way or the other. We have the different political means by Sama, Bheda, Dana, Danda and everything, and therefore he has to embrace everybody, encompass everybody, but not give away with anybody. That's not going to fit. That is not the right attitude for a king, he says that. Immediately Duryodhana says that you had killed your uncle, and now you are coming and telling that I have to embrace my relatives. What rights do you even have to say this? He says that. And he's also telling that Syalam tava guror bhupam, tava guroho syalam bhupam kamsam prati natedaya. But now you are asking me to show some concern for my own cousins who are Pandavas, and teshu nityapakarishu, and they've never done anything good for me till now, says Duryodhana. So, and then Krishna also says that he tries to explain to him, Kritva putra viyogartam bahushaha jananim mama vriddham swapitaram badhva hatoyam mrityuna swayam. He tries to explain. But then this is not a person who is going to understand that soon. We know how hard-headed Duryodhana can become. Therefore, he is telling sarvatha vanchitaha. He is coming to the conclusion, you need not explain, I don't need any explanation. So he is immediately retorting by telling that sarvatha vanchitaha tvaya kamsaha. Therefore, na shaurya metat. If you think you have killed Kamsa and you are a very powerful person, then what happened to that shauryam when Jarasandha attacked you? Therefore he says, Jamatra nasha vyasanabhitapte roshabhibhute magadheshvareta palayamanasya bhayaturasya shauryam tadetat pagatam tavasit. Immediately Duryodhana also says that when Jarasandha had come, where did you run away? At that time, where did all this valor go? You think you have killed Kamsa, you are like a very big person? No, you are not a big person at all. You are the one who ran away. And even that cowardice of Krishna is celebrated, and they say like Ranchodji, that is like celebrated in Dakor Dwarka, where we have the temple of Ranchodji over there. So even that cowardice is celebrated. I think the history, our tradition's history is such that we have never hidden anything. Everything is celebrated. That is one thing that is to be mentioned at this point. Therefore, when he says that, Krishna says, Desha kala avasthapekshi khalu shauryam nayanugamina. How can a person who is well versed in the political science, fight like that without even considering what is the right time or what is the right place or even the right method to show one's valor? Therefore, he was not to be killed at that moment, and therefore we had to wait. When he said that, he is telling, leave that. They are the sons of the gods, and we are just the sons of human beings. We do not have any relationship with them. Therefore, Pishta Peshanam etavat chidyatam kaparyaptam chidyatam katha, he said. Therefore, there is no more, nothing to say to these Pandavas. That is it, finish it. I am going to stop here. When he says that, Krishna also feels that if I am going to say all these good words to Duryodhana, he doesn't seem to listen anymore. Therefore, Krishna is now coming to the point where again his divinity is revealed, I would say. Because when he spoke about Arjuna, that the compassion with which Krishna speaks about Arjuna, I think that's very beautiful. When he speaks about his devotee, he speaks in high terms. He says, Kairatam, don't you know the valor of Arjuna? Duryodhana said, no, I don't know. What is the great thing about the valor of Arjuna? But then we should remember that at that point actually he had just undergone that defeat. The entire Kaurava army was defeated by Arjuna single-handedly, and after that, Krishna Dautyam had happened. But in spite of that, Duryodhana is only telling that what is there great about the valor of Arjuna. Immediately Krishna says, Kairatam vapurasthitaha pashupatihi yuddhena santoshitaha. Look at the valor of Arjuna. How beautifully the Shiva, the Lord Shiva, who had assumed the garb of a hunter. He had come there under the garb of the hunter, and he was made happy because nobody had fought with Shiva with that kind of a vigor. So even Shiva was made happy by portraying his valor. That was the valor of Arjuna. And then Vanne Khanda Avshnataha Sumahati Vrishtihi Sharaish Chadita. And when Agni had wanted to burn down the Khandava forest, Indra had come with all his clouds like Balahaka and all that, and those are the clouds that would rain at the end of the yuga, they say. And with those clouds, when he had come, so Mahati Vrishtihi, that kind of a rain nobody had even witnessed. Even that was covered by means of his arrows. That is the greatness of the valor of Arjuna. Devendra Artikaraha Nivatakavachaha Nitaha Kshayam Leelaya. And very playfully he had killed Nivatakavachas, who were very, very tough to be handled even by Indra and other Deva. And then again he said, Nanu ekena tatha viratanagare, finally I come to you. So here also, and he said that first thing was Mahadeva. Even Mahadeva was fought by Arjuna. The second one is, if you don't understand and Mahadeva is great, it's okay. Then I come to, Indra, which is like Devendra, who's the king of gods. And later on, I come to Rakshasas. He has bet even Rakshasas. All clans of Mahadeva, and then Devendra, and then Asura. And finally, if you don't understand, the one that happened just before our eyes, and that is, Nan Vekena Tatha Viratanagare Bhishmadaya Nirjitaha. Bhishma and all those people that you consider great, even they were defeated by Arjuna single-handedly. He wouldn't listen, therefore he said further, Nanuttam Chitrasena Yamanam. Okay, personal experience might probably revive him to sense his Krishna thought, and therefore he said, Nanuttam Chitrasena Yamanaha Nabhastalam Vikroshan Ghoshayatrayam Phalgunena tu Mukshita. You were only saved by Arjuna when you were being taken away by Chitrasena, and it is your wife who went and cried to Yudhishthira, and Yudhishthira said, when others fight, then we are 105. Only when they fight and we fight, we are 5 and they are 100. Otherwise, we are 105, and therefore you need to go. Though Bhima and Arjuna were unwilling, it is Yudhishthira who forced them and then saved Chitrasena. And finally, when he said all this, Duryodhana only said that, you are the one Krishna, you don't have any right to speak like this, because Avadhyam Brahmadam Hatva, whom did you kill in the beginning? Be it Rama, be it Krishna. Both of you have killed only ladies in the beginning. Avadhyam Pramadam, that too Avadhya, he would say. Avadhyam Pramadam Hatva, Hayam Go Vrishamevacha. What are the things that you kill? You just proclaim yourselves to be a very great hero. But what did you even kill? Hayam, one horse. Was he actually a horse? We need to know what kind of background they all had. And Go Vrishamevacha, did he even kill cow? Vatsasura and Vrisha and a bull and all these. Mallanapi Sunirlajjaha. Wrestlers are not to be killed, it is a sport. In the sport, nobody kills the other person. And you are the person who had killed the two wrestlers. We call upon them, and I think there are more, 5 anyway. Mallanapi Sunirlajjaha. Vaktumechasi sadhubhi. You want to talk to people like me who are real heroes, said Duryodhana. Finally, there is more and more magic happening in the drama, which I'm not going to elaborate with the beautiful descriptions of the weapons that are like unmatched. But then I would like to refer to the story of Garuda, because it is from the Purana. With the arrival of Garuda, there is a beautiful mention of the story of Garuda. It says, Surasuranam parikhedalabdam yenamritam matra vimokshanartham achinnamasite Drishataha murarehe tvam udvahamiti varopi dattaha. That again mentions very beautifully of the story of Garuda, where Vinata and Kadru were the two mothers, and then they had these children, and then because of the Garuda, Vinata had carried she had to hatch the egg for almost like so many years, and still the child was not out of it, and finally because of being coaxed by Kadru, she broke open the egg, and then the Aruna, without the feet, he was born, and then he said, I am born for the purpose of becoming the charioteer of Surya, and therefore I am going off, but then do not break the other egg, he told, and he also said that for 1,000 years you will become a slave of Kadru. And then again they both went to the Nandanavana and they saw this Uchchaishravas, all that, and finally the mother became a slave, and then in order to release the mother out of slavery, the newborn Garuda baby, he wanted to fly and then get this Amrita from the heavens, and when he went there, very beautifully Valakilya, he got the blessings of his own father, and then the Rishi Valakilyas were hanging upside down. So that beautiful episode is referred to, and very beautifully when he got back this Amrita, and he could not be defeated in spite of being such a small child. Garuda could not be defeated by anybody, and therefore when they resorted to Mahavishnu came, said, I give you a boon, you give me a boon in turn. And that is how we are going to come to a settlement. He said, okay, then I give you a boon, what do you want? Then he said, you have to become my vehicle. That is the greatness of Garuda. And then immediately Vishnu also, then I give you whatever you asked, I give you the Amrita, and therefore you can take it, and they have an agreement, Indra and Garuda, so according to which he asks all the snakes to go have bath and come back, and after which the Amritam was kept in the Darbha grass, amidst the Darbha grass. When the snakes came and licked the Darbha grass, their tongue got split into that. That is the popular Puranic story. So in this way, Dutavakyam refers to many epic and Puranic and Vedic incidents. The study of this drama surely enriches the reader and encourages him to strive to understand these episodes that are passingly mentioned herein. Thus, all given in one act as a capsule, Dutavakyam encases the beauty of the entire epic along with many other episodes. Hence, readers find great joy in reading it. So is me. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Were you all able to follow it, or did you go to sleep? Some were sleeping. Doesn't matter. Anyway, it is a well-known story how Krishna went to the court of Duryodhana to ask for 5 cities or 5 gramas for the Pandavas. All the dialogues that she had now discussed were all in the Mahabharata, but in different contexts. They are all brought together. And also, as she said, our epics never talk untruth. All the characters in the epic will be discussing other characters. They will tell them face to face that you are wrong or you are right. So it is always there that Duryodhana talks about Krishna and Krishna talks about Duryodhana and others. That's a natural thing. Even today we are discussing whether this is right or that is wrong. But the characters themselves are discussed, the author himself has discussed, and it is open to all. It has happened. You have to accept it and then you go on. The right or wrong is according to the times, not according to your time. So we cannot decide that. That was brought very well done, very well by Anusha. For once, she spoke continuously without giggling and very nicely, very beautifully. She was very much engrossed in the text. That is the main thing. She is very much engrossed. She has thoroughly studied the text and she has got it in her tongue. So easily she is referring to everything. Well done. The next speaker is Dr. Preeti, Assistant Professor KSRI. She will be talking about something new. It is a conversation between Swarna and Pearl Mukta. Swarna Mukta Samvada is a drama. So this is a new thing. Please wake up and then listen.
Namasabhaye. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Today I am going to talk about Swarnamukta Samvada, a unique drama. Swarnamukta Samvada or Vivada is a unique play in which metals like gold and silver along with gems such as pearl, diamond and coral take on the roles of chief characters. It was composed by Mahesh Pandita, a resident of Srinagar. The play also mentions a ruler named Balabhadra, also known as the Shahi Bahadur, who is the only human character in the story. This work has been published in Kavya Itihasa, which is not available now, and the manuscript of the work also available in the India Office Library, London. The manuscript is taken here for the study. The central theme, as suggested by the title, revolves around the dispute over the superiority and significance of gold and pearl, both of whom are patronized at the court of Balabhadra in Srinagar near the Himalayas. Asti swastimati samasta nagari saundarya purna puri khyata Srinagari gariyasi gunair gauri guroho parvate yatra swarnamayi sabhasu satatam muktamayi cha shriyau Seveta Balabhadra Deva Charana Anvayonya Samspardhaya. Swarna enters first, glancing around angrily at the various golden ornaments adorning different parts of the bodies of the audience. Itastataha Sabhya Karakanangulishu Avalokya Sakrodham. It proudly claims that its mere presence ensures the overall material prosperity of its patron and his residents, encompassing missiles, weapons, elephants, horses, clothing, decorations, and a diverse array of luxurious from various countries in abundance. As you can see the verse, I am not going to recite here. Beyond material wealth, gold also supports all dharmic activities in its patron's household. Ishtapurta, various forms of charity, rituals involving gold offerings, and grand sacrifices like Soma and Ashwamedha. Gold asserts its superiority, questioning how it can be compared to someone as significant as Pearl Mukta. It wonders about Pearl's identity, lineage and status, asking whose daughter or wife she is. Gold then declares itself the finest of all metals, emphasizing its unmatched worth. Bhosabhyaha kathayantu yeyam adhama sardham maya spardhate keyam kasya sutacha kasya vanita karyam kimasyaha punaha Kim janati na mam suvarnam akhilaihi aradhyamam sada dhatum tam samiha paratra cha sukha sadharanam karanam. Pearl Mukta enters with a smile, proudly highlighting its noble lineage and esteemed connections. It is born from both the ocean and earth, with the moon as its brother, revered as the crest jewel of Shiva, and Lakshmi as its sister, residing in the chest of Lord Vishnu. Mukta is regarded as the embodiment of all virtues. It then questions how can gold, Suvarna, which even linguistically appears in the neuter gender, Swarnam, compared to pearl, which is born into such an exalted lineage. Tatah khyatah sa patho nidhiram timahati ratnagarbha cha mata ye saubhagyavanto jagati sukrutino nayaka mamakaste. Aryaha karyam madiyam yadiha kimapi va tad bhavanto vadantu klibam kasmad vadati mayi sudhavarna metat suvarnam. Suvarna responds to this argument by stating that if the grammatical gender of the word truly determined the power or weakness of the object it represents, it would result in the absurd notion that the Supreme Brahman, the source of the entire universe, lacks any potential or capability. It is widely known that the words Dhara, Daivata and Devata are grammatically classified as masculine, neuter and feminine respectively. However, the actual entities they represent are not bound by these grammatical genders. Gold adds that arising as the pearl is from water, it is full of dullness. Aho jadajanerasya muktaya jadyam idrisham. If noble lineage alone determine greatness, then Pearl's mother, Suktika, being associated with the ocean and earth, should also be regarded as highly valuable and esteemed. However, this is not the case. Gold claims its innate greatness, stating that even divine beings like Indra and other gods revere Sumeru because it is golden. It highlights that the entire world exists within the Creator, who proudly identifies as Hiranyagarbha. Gold questions how the ocean can compare to its magnificence and dismisses pearl as insignificant in comparison. Matva Swarnamayam Sumeru Shikharam Shakradayah Samshritaha Kim Chemani Jaganti Santi Satatam Brahmanda Bhando Dare Srishtam Yena Characharatmakamidam Srashtasa Madarga Bhajaha Kovate Jaladhir Madiya Ganane Katvam Varaki Punaha. This passage contains lively and clever exchanges between gold and pearl, incorporating wordplay, mythological references, and subtle humor. The wordplay in particular is skillfully woven into a dialogue without feeling forced or excessive. For instance, consider the following two verses spoken by gold to pearl. Saravid bhira saravat tyakteti tava muktata tada yat sutra baddhasi muktiste kidrishi punaha. Here, muktata signifies both pearlness or the quality of pearl and also release. Gold asserts that distinguished and influential individuals like gold and silver disregard pearl as an insignificant entity, thus implying its release, a reflection of its very nature. However, when the pearl is strung or bound by a golden thread, how can the notion of its release arise? A similar sentiment is conveyed in the following verse. Yadi muktasi muktetvam napavargavati sada apavargavati chet tvam na muktasiti nishchayaha. Here apavarga refers to both release, a term that does not include a labial or pavarga. In the word mukta, the syllable mu is a labial nasal. In the midst of these light-hearted yet sharp exchanges, gold and pearl use various satirical names for each other. Gold is referred to by several synonyms including Sudhavarna, Kita, Hiranya, Akarajanani, Durvarna Sahodara, Bharma, Hataka, Durmukha, Apaniya, Gangeya, Kanchana and Kartaswara. Similarly, pearl is called Ratnakara Jani or Jata Jani and is mockingly labelled Parushakshara Bhashini, Papa Rupa, Mukta Pishachi and Jnana Mukta among others. Amidst these hatred discussions, silver joins in, siding with gold and confronting pearl. In response, pearl summons her allies diamond, crystal, coral, ruby, etc. As the rival factions grow in number, the dispute escalates, becoming more intense and complex. At this crucial moment, gold proposes taking this matter to their patron Balabhadra, the only one capable of resolving the conflict. Pearl readily agrees to this suggestion. Upon hearing the case, King Balabhadra laughs at the triviality of their quarrel. Summoning all the metals, he remarks that their dispute lacks any real meaning or purpose. You can see the verse here. He further advises them to let go of their personal pride and remain united, acknowledging the differences and disparities are inevitably by nature. Gold agrees to this suggestion and remains satisfied. Addressing pearl and other gems, the ruler remarks that they all shine to the advantage only when strung in golden thread. Diamond ultimately accepts the king's perspective. Pearl and other gems backed by diamond accept the king's verdict and unite in harmony. In the Bharatavakya, diamond prays for the well-being of ruler Shahi Bahadur, the universal sovereign, celebrated for his heroism and strength, reigning over the earth, abundant in diverse produce and encircled by the ocean. To conclude, Swarnamukta Samvada beautifully presents the themes of rivalry and unity through the personification of metals and gems. King Balabhadra's wise judgment helps resolve their dispute, highlighting the value of harmony despite differences. The play follows the tradition of religious dramas while also showcasing the Mahesha Pandita's creativity, especially in shaping the characters. Thank you. It is in India Office Library, sir.
Very interesting drama. The message that is being brought to us is that there should be no difference, no taratamyam between people. It is almost like telling us all to be united and feel one at the same time, irrespective of your caste, color and creed. It's very interesting. Actually, if you go through the entire text as such, there are more dialogues and other things which will bring forth this idea that there should be unity among everyone who is present, irrespective of their differences. So the discrepancies should be avoided, the best qualities of each and everyone has to be considered, and one has to respect the other for the best qualities, leaving out the unwanted things. So that's one very good drama, a different type of drama, not a usual epic oriented or anything, but in everybody's life, starting from Vedic times, Swarna and Mukta had been there along with us. So that has also been given a due place in dramas, very well done and very well executed drama. We will have to read that to understand. Also they will talk about the other metals, their qualities, and all those things will be coming as Navagrahas that had been discussed earlier. Here also the metals will be discussed, their qualities will be discussed, and it will be everything is equal, is the same message that is being given. Now we have two more people. Patron we do not know, yes. No, she said about on Kashmir King. There are two more papers who have not turned up. So now I think Ramya is there? Oh, I didn't see you, sorry. I'm very sorry. Dr. Ramya Bhatt, once again I have given the title. Assistant Professor Guru Nanak College, a glance of historical events in the drama Kaumudi Mahotsava.
Namasarvebhyah. My topic is a glance of historical events in drama Kaumudi Mahotsava. Kaumudi Mahotsava is one of the Sanskrit dramas written by a woman author, which draws its characters and materials from history, not an imaginative one. The play revolves around Prince Kalyanavarman of Magadha, who was banished from his throne by the dynasty of Chandasena by unfair means and later installed back by stratagem of his minister who was loyal to him. The purpose was accomplished without any bloodshed. The plot of this drama throws light on the concealed part of the ancient history of India. It is mentioned this drama was performed in Pataliputra, the capital of Magadha. The place is connected directly with the plot, or as such the hero at the time of exile has lived in many different places such as Vyada, Kishkinta, etc. and heroine comes all the way from Mathura. The drama was staged on a full moon festival day in the celebrated capital city of Magadha, rulers which is connected with modern Patna. According to the facts of the drama, the hero must have flourished in the middle of the 7th century AD. So now we will see into the manuscript. Yes. Manuscript materials, title, author of drama Kaumudi Mahotsava and Nataka. It's considered as Nataka because it's having more than from 4 to 5 acts. The manuscript material belonged to British Malabar, from where it was copied by GOML. The original copy is on the palm leaf of Sri Tala, found along with the another drama with the title Abhirama Chitralekam for the later. The first manuscript does not bear any heading nor prologue. The end of the drama does not mention any name of the drama or any heading or its author. Here it is need to recall customary of many authors not to give any name to a work or mention the author's name. Basa's dramas are found without author's name and later identified by great scholar Mr. Ganapati Shastri based upon his research works. Dramas describing Udayana's heroism, including Ratnavali, Priyadarshika, etc. are found in one heading, that is Vatsaraja Charitam. The Kaumudi Mahotsava drama along with the Abhirama Chitralekam without any separate name was found in Malabar. The script at the close of the play writes Kaumudi Mahotsava Samaptaha. Hence, this drama was called Kaumudi Mahotsava and published in the year in 1929, jointly edited by Mr. Ramakrishna Kavi and Pandit S.K. Ramnath Shastri in its present name. The work was titled as Kaumudi Mahotsava because this drama was staged at the time of annual full moon festival at Pataliputra in the palace of Suganga. It synchronizes with the accession of Prince Kalyanavarman to the throne of Magadha. It is also an occasion of Kalyanavarman marrying princess of Surasena. Identification of the author Vijaka or Vijaya Bhattarika. The author's name was not clear as the prologue containing the name of the poet is worm-eaten. The worm-eaten part has space only to fill 2 letters and later followed by Kaya Nibadham, a question mark, which indicates a woman author whose name is 3 letters only. After close examination, Mr. Ramakrishna Kavi concluded the name should be Vijaka or Vijika. He supports the name Vija in Prakrit form, which refers to Vidya, otherwise knowledge. Reference by Dandin, Rajashekara evidence as Vijika has been called as Karnati. Why we call Karnati we will see later. In the verses of Shukta Muktavali, Subhashita Haravali and Shanga Dhara Padati and etc. everyone mentions this Karnati. The inscriptional evidence has descriptions as learned women like Saraswati belongs to Karnata since the time of Kalidasa. The poet composes about herself as beloved of the king Karnata. The Nerur copper plate also name a queen, Vijaya Bhattarika, the wife of Chandraditya, the eldest son of Pulikesin II, the conqueror of Harshavardhana and Vikramaditya. Kochar Grand refers Queen Vijaya Bhattarika of Karnata as Bodhi Podi, means alligator, intelligence or wisdom. The native of Vijaya Bhattarika is not known. It is assumed that she belongs to Eastern India. It is inferred that she composed this drama in the North India at Pataliputra before her marriage when Kalyanavarman was reinstated on the throne. The author Vijaya Bhattarika may belong to 7th century AD. From here it's learned Queen of Karnata, Vijaya Bhattarika seems to have been referred. Here the Queen of Karnata, Vijaya Bhattarika is the Queen of Karnata, seems to have been referred as Vijaka by or Karnati or author. So now we will go into the plot of the play. The main characters included in the drama are Sundaravarman, the Lord of Magadha, Chandasena, Sundaravarman's adopted son, Kalyanavarman or Kalyanashri, the son of Sundaravarman, the king of Magadha, Queen of Magadha, Madhiravati, mother of Kalyanashri, and then Vinayandhara or Yoga Siddhi, prince caretaker, Vidushaka and others. So, Mantragupta played a very important role in joining the the prince with the princess in the later part of the plot. So now we will go into the plot. Kaumudi Mahotsava revolves around the historical personality King Kalyanavarman from Varman dynasty ruling Magadha. Sundaravarman, Kalyanavarman's father, adopted a boy Chandasena. After adopting, the queen of Magadha, Madhiravati, gave birth to child Kalyanashri. In order to attain the throne of Magadha, when Kalyanashri was a boy, Chandasena, the adopted son of Sundaravarman, secretly formed an alliance with Lichavis, who were the enemies of Magadha. He waged a war against King Sundaravarman. King Sundaravarman died bravely. The queen Madhiravati, along with her queens, entered the Fernal Pair. Before leaving, she left her son Kalyanashri with her loyal maid Vinayandhara, who carried away the child from capital Pataliputra into forest along with the loyal ministers. The throne of Magadha was occupied by Chandasena. When Kalyanashri became a young prince, the ministers urged the people to rise against the Chandasena. Meanwhile, Chandasena was killed by tribes away from the capital. Hence, the people of Magadha crowned Kalyanashri as the king Kalyanavarman of Magadha. Kalyanashri married the daughter of King Kirtasena, the ruler of country Saurasena. Historical evidences. By the inferences, Kalyanavarman was a contemporary of Vijaya Bhattarika, the writer of the plot, and should belong between 7th and 8th century AD. The records of Magadha king list do not provide the name of Sundaravarman or Kalyanavarman belonging to Varman dynasty. The Shirpur, the Raipur inscription mentions in the lunar dynasty, Chandragupta, his son Harshagupta, married Vasata, daughter of Suryavarman of the Varman dynasty of Magadha, and their son Mahashiva Gupta can be dated to 8th century. By this, it can be inferred Suryavarman can be an immediate successor of Kalyanavarman, whose date synchronizes with that of Queen Bhattarika of Karnataka. Number 2. According to the plot, Chandasena is said to have been uprooted by Kalyanavarman. The drama mentions Chandasena belongs to Karaskara, a community. Scholars like Dr. Jeshwal points out that Karaskaras were of subdivision of Madras or Jartikas. This Jats were Guptas is recorded in the caste as shown in the Nepal chronicles. Yet it is uncertain. He has tried to identify Chandasena with Chandragupta I, the founder of Mauryan dynasty. He says with confidence that Chandsena was his original name, and it seemed that Chandra dropped Sena and adapted Gupta, his grandfather's name, to give himself a dynastic title. But this idea was rejected by many scholars. In the list of inscriptions of northern India, inscription gives the names of the Gupta kings ruling Magadha, among whom the Aditya Sena is given, whose daughter is said to have married to a Lichavat king. The list of Magadha rulers of various period, it has been given here, which do not have the names of Kalyanavarman or his father Sundaravarman. So without their names, the list has been given, but we are trying to, the historians and other people want to record that might be the Chandasena can be the same Chandragupta one. Lichavis. According to the inscriptions from Nepal, the Lichavis were existent for a very long period. Who are these Lichavis? Lichavis were ruling Nepal and had matrimonial alliances with the ruling families of Magadha. This inscription dates back to 749 AD. The Kathmandu inscription of Jayadeva Prachakrakama dated 703 AD mentions, in the solar race there was Lichavi, in his family was Supushpa born at Pushpapura, etc. The other inscription says, the prince respectfully took illustrious Vasata Devi to be his queen as if she was Fortune, her daughter of Bhogavarman, who was crest jewel of the illustrious Varmans of various Maukari races, and who by his glory put shame to hostile kings, and granddaughter of great Aditya Sena, the illustrious lord of Magadha. Now here we can see Aditya Sena and Chandasena refers to same person. the Gupta dynasty ruling Magadha, who has made alliance with this Lichavis. The facts and record shows the transitional period which followed the Gupta kings when several dynasties tried to conquer the central power. Two groups had conflict, that is between the Varmas and the Guptas. It looks like Sundaravarman tried to bring a reconciliation between the two families by adapting the Chandasena from Gupta dynasty, which changed when Kalyanashri was born to queen consort of Sundaravarman. Here the history brings the closeness of Guptas to Lichavis. Chandrasena or Aditya Sena formed an alliance with Lichavis and invited them to conquer Sundaravarman. With the death of Sundaravarman, Gupta dynasty came to power. But as Chandrasena grew unpopular, the Magadha people rose against them and reinstated Kalyanavarman on the throne of Magadha and revived the Varman dynasty. Historical places in this drama: in Act 1, King Kalyanavarman, after accession to the throne, the play celebrated his successes Suganga, which some scholars identify with the central part of Pataliputra, the modern day Patna. The Prince Kalyanavarman, during his exile, was staying with Kunjaraka, the loyal maid of the queen, after her death in an inaccessible place called Vyada Kishkinta, near the temple Vindhyavasini, and which is also near to the lake Pampa. So there are many places with the same names mentioned in the history. Here, Vyada Kishkinta can be identified with one to the north of the river Narmada and other in the Deccan Plateau. Vindhyavasini might be a celebrated goddess, temple of goddess Chandika. Minister Mantragupta, meanwhile, was working for the prince in Pataliputra. History records that this temple is situated on the part of hill near Mirzapur. So in the Act 3, the scene jumps to Vindhya hills. Not particular place is mentioned from these hills. These are collection of hills between Indo-Gangetic plain and Deccan Plateau. So according to various definitions, this mountain ranges from Godavari in the south up to Ganga in the north. Even Puranas define Vindhya ranges in their own terms. Valmiki Ramayana defines this range is situated in the south of Kishkinta, which is identified with the present day Karnataka. Here in this act, Kirtimati, with whom the young prince falls in love, belongs to Mathura, the capital of Yadus. Yoga Siddhi, or the Vinayandhara, a loyal nurse of Kalyanashri, recognized in the picture in Mathura, being held by princess attendant, was happy to find prince back. So now here they have tried to make prince and the princess together because the Yoga Siddhi identifies the princess and the prince also she knew earlier. Act 4 and 5 deals with the prince loyal such as Mantragupta, Aryak Siksha, Veera Sena, who helped the prince Kalyanavarman to reach Pataliputra, which is otherwise called as Kusumapura. Act 5 is not enacted as it deals with Chandasena's death in dealing with frontier tribes. The other places mentioned in this drama includes Kanchi, Vasta, Pampa, Kausumbi, Suyamuna, which are all of historical importance. So when we see historical cultural celebrations, the time-honored festival of autumnal full moon takes place in Magadha is clear as the stage manager comments. Now again is approaching the Kaumudi Mahotsava. This event is also mentioned in Mudra Rakshasa Act 2, where the king Chandragupta says, I wish to enjoy a sight of Kusumapura on account of commencement of Kaumudi Mahotsava. This festival should have got a supreme importance because the author has chosen this festival for good ending of her drama. Now we come to conclusion, where we say the political intrigue is interwoven with the love story between the Prince Kalyanavarman and Princess Kirtimati. Both belong to the royal families, as not in Mudra Rakshasa or Mrichakatikam, who are all of historical personalities and belonging to various dynasties. I mean, in this drama, this plot also gives the scenario of various historical places and their importance. Now I would like to conclude with this. Thank you for giving me opportunity. Thank you.
Another entirely different drama which deals with the history of India, one part of India, Mathura, Magadha, and Lichavi dynasty. We are not very much familiar with the history of North India normally, we are not. But even then, whatever we had studied, it was only up to our plus 2 stage. So I have not read this drama Kaumudi Mahotsava, so I do not know the background history of the drama. But as far as she has brought out the history, how it has been mixed with fiction, like Agnimitra is said to be one of the last of Raghuvamsha kings. So it is a normal practice to mix fiction and fact. So Maurya Varla, Lichavi, Magadha and Mathura. Mama. பாட்டலிபுத்திரம் வந்தாலும் மௌரியா டைனாசி அப்போ இல்லையே, குப்தாக்கு அப்புறம் தானே வரணும், முன்னாடி போயிடும். மௌரியா வரல. So it was brought out very well, nicely analyzed. Act by act also she has given the places and other things. But since I am not very familiar with it, I am not able to comment much on it, except that historical fact is to be looked into, and it seems to be a very valuable historical record. So somebody will have to do a study on it. Thank you very much for introducing us to that. Yes, definitely. Thank you very much for introducing the text to us. Thank you very much. Now, shall we wind up? No, nobody else. One more person, she has not come. Probably tomorrow she'll come. So today we had a nice session in the morning as well as in the afternoon. You had listened to different types of texts, different types of concepts, different types of presentations, different type of narrations. So all these talk about what we know pretty well, but at the same time they are presented to us differently, variedly by the authors and by the presenters here. So we are taking with us some knowledge today. To what we know already, we have added something more. So from the epics you had 3 papers related to epics. One on fictional idea of the diamond and other precious gems fighting with each other. The final one is on history. So we had seen various texts, and we are very happy that the people who made the presentation seem to have really made good effort in presenting it to us so that we understand it. And I wish you all the presenters, our congratulations to us. Wish you all the best to do more and more. And thank you one and all for patiently sitting and hearing to the entire session. Thank you.
I thank Dr. V. Kameshwari ma'am, who has summed up every paper and given the key points of whatever the presenters have presented. Thank you very much, ma'am. You have been the backbone and support in all our activities, and thank you for accepting to chair this session, ma'am. Thank you very much. I also would like to thank the endowment makers, Shri T.M. Krishnaswamy Iyer Endowment and Shri N.V. Raghavan Endowment. And with this we will be closing for the day. Tomorrow we have 2 more sessions and the valedictory function. So we have session 3 on dramaturgical texts and technical aspects. Tomorrow we will be starting by 10:30 a.m. under M.M. Mahamahopadhyaya, Professor S. Kupswamy Shastri Endowment and P.K. Subramanya Iyer Endowment. This session will be chaired by Dr. S. Umapati, Associate Professor and Head of the Department of Sahitya at the Madras Sanskrit College. And the afternoon session we have modern Sanskrit dramas and allegorical plays, which will also be very interesting. That will be from 2 to 4 under the endowment Srimati Sundarambal Endowment and Dr. S. Jayashri Memorial Endowment. And this session will be chaired by Dr. T.V. Vasudeva, Deputy Director at the Kupswamy Shastri Research Institute. And we will be winding up with the valedictory function, and Dr. N.V. Devi Prasad sir, former principal at the Madras Sanskrit College, will deliver the valedictory address. So I request all of you to be here by 10 tomorrow. So we will start by 10:30. I would like to specially thank the professors from Srimad Andavan Arts and Science College from Trichy for bringing their students also. They have also come. So I thank one and all, and the students from Stella Maris. Tomorrow also I expect you all to be here. Thank you.